ask yourself whether or not you were born with a critical voice. The critical voice will always be there. And this critical voice is from birth. There's this voice in their head that no matter how good they are doing, right, they tell them you should have done it another way. You have done, and they don't know where this voice came from. Ones are the only ones on the Enneagram that has critical voice inbuilt into their system.
So Jarrod, what type am I?
Wow, that one, if I tell you right off the bat like this, it's very unfair to you, don't you think? Because Enneagram is about the journey. So there are 9 different types, 9 different ways to see the world. So maybe you listen to all the 9 types first and then we go from there.
Okay.
I think that's fairer to you as well.
Fair enough. Okay, so let me understand first. What is Enneagram?
Okay, so Enneagram is a framework. It's a personality framework, very much like DISC and MBTI. But Enneagram's difference is we look at the why behind your actions. So it goes way deeper into just traits, right? We don't just look at the traits, we look at the motivations behind the traits. So 9 different ways to see the world, 9 different ways to be in the world, 9 different ways to think, feel, and do in the world, 9 different ways to lead, So when I teach people Enneagram, I always tell them there's no such thing as common sense. Because there are 9 different ways to look at the world.
Right.
So it's common to the type. So that's in a nutshell what the Enneagram framework is.
How do you come about on this topic of Enneagram and make it your life's work?
I was always interested in psychology, healing, because of the background that I grew up in, trying to figure out myself. So when COVID happened and we were all locked down, I had nothing better else to do, so I decided to go and take an Enneagram course. Then one thing led to another. I got into the company that actually conducted the course. I became their trainer. I became their coach. I've been doing this for 6 years already, since 2020. So it's been my life's work because this is the only framework that makes sense.
Oh, as compared to DISC, MBTI.
DISC and MBTI is a bit difficult for me because my traits change over time. So DISC and MBTI can only look at where the traits are. But because you are born with your Enneagram type and you're born with that one core motivation for all your life, it is once and done. You can't change your core motivation. What you can change is when you are conditioned by your environment, conditioned by the experiences that you have, then this trait should strengthen the core motivation and vice versa. So it's a very dynamic way of looking as to how to grow yourself, how to be more self-developed, how to be more self-confident.
Right. How big is the Enneagram community? Because I think it's something that's up and coming or has been there for ages.
Depending on how you look at this, if you look at practitioners, we have practitioners who are doing this on and off.
By practitioners, you mean like what? Typing, profiling people,
profiling.
coaching.
A lot of insurance agencies, a lot of real estate agencies use this. A lot of HR people also tend to use this.
What do they use this for?
So this is where I think is a little bit of a controversy because Enneagram is supposed to be inclusive. So when I hear HR people telling me that they are using this to see whether or not it's a fit for the job scope, right? I get a bit worried. Because then you are excluding certain people from that particular group. Some people use it for sales. But I always tell insurance people and real estate people that if you use the Enneagram and you try to figure out your client, cannot, because no client comes in as a pure type. Everybody comes in as a person. So the way that is being taught in Singapore is I show you the box. They don't tell you what's next. So when I started my company in 2022, I realized the gap here was application. And I needed to teach the application of how the Enneagram can actually surface in your life. So I focus on person and traits and environment with the Enneagram instead of just the Enneagram itself. So I do give them quite a bit of thinking to do, a lot of growth paths, which is what the Enneagram is supposed to be used for.
Right.
To answer your question, how big the community is, in Singapore, it is something that is growing because it's a productivity tool. In America,
it has to be, right? Singapore always use everything as a productivity tool.
Because that's how we are wired, right? That's how Singapore is wired. But in America, where I go for my upgrading courses, it's more of a spiritual framework. It's more of a self-development framework. It's way bigger over that side than it is over here. More people are into it, and more people are open to actually figuring out themselves at that point in time instead of just using it for work.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've heard a couple of things. Number one, you mentioned that actually the ironic part about such tools is they use it for really typing people to fit their job scope.
Yeah.
Right. But it's actually more inclusive for everyone.
Yeah.
That's it. Why do you think people does it in Singapore context compared to the US? Because I think for you, you've seen a lot else. Is it a Asian kind of thing or?
Wow. How deep do you want to go?
You can. As deep as your type allows.
I think in Asia, we are very stoic, very traditional. We are bound by rules, regulations. So one particular Enneagram type actually does look like Asians, right?
And what is that?
That would be the
why don't
we'll go
Why
there.
don't we
Why
go
don't
there?
we get
Yes,
later?
So let me write this down. What do Asians look like, right?
As in, which Enneagram type actually resonates more with the Asian culture?
Okay.
Right? I think in Asia, especially in Singapore and Hong Kong, it's about efficiency. So just now when you said, what is it about the culture, right? Immediately I said efficiency because it's the fastest way for me to go and get things done, get the team going. Because we are a very small country, efficiency is one of the key factors in our growth, right? We can't not get into that. But I think as we are growing more affluent as a society in Asia, we have the privilege and luxury not to slow down. Whereas in Europe and America, it's the other way around.
Right.
They have the luxury to actually figure themselves out at the beginning of their lives, and then they start doing work. So it's a very interesting mirror that we have in both cultures.
Okay. So before we head on to the 9 types, right? Maybe let's hear some advice from before anyone listen to the 9 types. What should they ready their mind first, right? And understanding before they enter the 9 types.
So I think the key thing is rather than like, hey, I'm this type and then therefore fixing.
Impose.
Be an open book. Right? Approach everything. What's the philosophy behind it?
Okay, so my philosophy is be open. The type that you like may not necessarily be your type.
Okay. Wait, as in you like, as in you want to become.
This one I aspire to become.
Okay,
this is the one that I really like. You don't get to choose.
Okay.
Because it's from birth. You've been given this.
So that's what Enneagram believes.
That's what the Enneagram believes.
Okay,
right? And that's my philosophy.
Okay.
I have found out in coaching and training that most of the time when people don't like their type, it's usually the type.
Oh, interesting.
They don't like the type. Okay.
Because it's the most uncomfortable
revelation to them.
It's something that they kind of have to struggle with a bit.
Okay.
Very rare for people like you, very rare for people like me to actually come in and then go, okay, I know this is the type because this is who I am. But that's also because I had therapy, I had counseling way before all this. So if people go through therapy and counseling, the openness is already there. They will find their types a little bit better.
Okay.
So one,
be more comfortable lah. Be more comfortable. Okay.
Don't judge your types because there's no such thing as a strong or a weaker type.
Right.
Second thing here is when you are listening out, listen for the core motivation. Don't listen to the traits.
Okay.
Because traits can change because of experience, my job, my season in my life, the age that I am. But the core motivation stays the same. How it manifests in the traits is a different thing.
Right.
So listen for core motivation. Don't just look for the traits.
Okay. Got that. Okay. Well, I was about to guess, the Asians one should be 8. Come on, man. Asian loves 8. It should be 8.
I know.
That was the first thought that I had, but now
I know the way you all go, I have my bet.
Now I can't do that anymore.
Later we review.
Yeah, now I can't do that anymore.
So I think through the checklist, I'm looking at the reports. Will be we might want to go through a little bit about the type name, then the core motivation, right? The core worldview as you see it, right? The strengths, the weaknesses, and how does each type think, feel, or do?
Okay, let's go to the first type.
Let's go.
There are 9 types, right?
Yeah, which type you want to go?
That's where
What's
do you usually start
how do you
with?
usually start this?
So usually I start with the twos.
The tools.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so twos are heart-centered types. Twos are called the helper. Core motivation here is to be needed. The need to be needed. I've changed that a bit because the need to be needed sounds very clingy,
Yeah.
right? So it's about being wanted and appreciated. So the need for them is to be wanted and appreciated in the world. Where they are in terms of their strengths, they can sense needs before anybody else. So heart-centered types, 2, 3, 4s, it's about the person. It's about who am I to you. For 2s is how can I help you. So their generosity is above and beyond. They will give everything.
Willing to give everything and
resources, time, themselves, emotions. They are very willing to do that to the point where they might actually get burned out. So on the high side, when they are not burnt out, they are very good at dealing with people. Very high emotional quotient, high EQ. On the other side, when they are burnt out, very blunt, very manipulative, very clingy. Because the core motivation at the lower end demands to be appreciated. And then at the lower end, for 2s, one of the things that they have to look out for is if they are overstepping boundaries. That means if a person says they don't want help and they are trying to help, they might be in an unhealthy space. Unhealthy space. So in Enneagram, it's about healthy, average, and unhealthy. Right?
So when you said healthy, what is healthy?
Healthy means I can regulate myself. I know where my boundaries are. I can move in the world without being validated by other people. I can validate myself. I know what my worth is without people telling me.
That applies throughout. Okay, throughout. So with every type, there's a healthy,
average, and
unhealthy.
Okay.
So most of the time, we are operating in average space.
Okay.
Where we are trying to get by. We can regulate somewhat, but there are times where it just goes wrong in the day. Right? Unhealthy is where all the unhealthiness comes out and then we become the worst parts of ourselves.
Interesting.
Yeah. So for the 2 best part is I can give everything with boundary. I know what is mine to do and what's mine to help. Unhealthy is I have no boundaries. I will help everybody. I will force my help on you and I will demand to be appreciated. So that's what it looks like. Average space is where sometimes they hint that they want to help.
Oh, really?
They're very paiseh to say. They're very, I wanted to say, they're very concerned about how they approach the person because they don't want to get rejected. So in average space, the struggle here is, do I help? Don't I help? And if they can figure out that this is not theirs to do this, they immediately start shifting to the healthy space from average.
But they will love it. Let's say, hey, type 2s, come help me. They will love it lah.
On the lower end.
Oh, on the lower end.
Yeah. So I give you a very good example. I had a client, we were doing certain things and then I trained both of them. They asked me to help something, right? And then I say, okay, fine, we'll help. I'll help. I'll give you some of my time to do it. The gentleman came in and he was like, you're type 2, right? So, okay lah, I'm outing myself. You're type 2, right? You like to help? I'm like, no. I am very clinical about how I give my time now. Because as an entrepreneur, there's no way I can give everything.
Everything lah, yeah.
Yeah, right. So then he was a bit shocked. So that's what I mean by if people learn this, you cannot just see the box. You have to see beyond that. So at that point when he said I thought you are 2, that's why you like to help. I say I like to help, but it has to be calculated now because I cannot be there for everyone.
Help you or not is a separate question.
Sometimes helping. So whose main lesson is the greatest help you can give someone is not to help. Which is very uncomfortable for us.
I'm trying to digest that, man. That's wow, okay.
It's very uncomfortable for the 2.
So what's the strength of a 2?
Like I said, high EQ. That means I can read the room. I know what to say. I can communicate in a way that everybody can understand. They are very generous with their time. They are very caring to the people around them. If they have boundaries in terms of leadership, they can read what the team needs and what the client needs and then integrate it together. So they are thinkers, it's just that they feel their way through their thinking.
Okay. And the corresponding weakness would be
Blunt,
manipulative.
Right.
Okay.
The manipulation here is you don't
Don't
want
want
the
my help,
help.
Yeah.
We're not that obvious.
你不要咩？
You don't want help, then I go, you sure or not? I help you.
Then how do we support the type 2s then?
How you support them? Okay, so this goes for 2, 3s and 4s. For heart-centered types, it's about eye contact.
Okay.
It's about being present to them. So if you are talking to 2, 3s and 4s, you need to not look at your phone. Phone needs to be off the table. And for 2s, it's about encouragement. It's about using words that are uplifting, encouraging, positive, empowering. They will fight back on that, but it's what they need. So that's pretty much the tool that we look at.
Right.
Okay. And how do they manage, let's say, finance, for example? The tools.
Okay, then we
What's
go
the
into,
worldview for finance?
if you look at the instinct of a tool, they are very willing to give everything.
So are they very poor?
when it comes to finances,
Generous,
they are very
Give money out.
Generous.
no, yeah, they can make themselves very poor because it's always about the other person. Tools are very others focused, right? I will buy things for other people, but I won't buy things for myself. But then it builds a resentment. So in terms of management of finances, tools are not the best instinctually.
Okay, maybe not finance management, maybe finance behavior, money behaviors lah.
Even then, it's always about the other person first, and then they rarely spend on themselves.
Okay.
They rarely spend on themselves. It's always on the other person first.
Interesting. But if you come to work, then how would that work?
How do you
For
mean?
example, let's say I'm a type 2 in a workspace environment. Then my colleague keep asking me to help. Then I'll just keep helping. Then I won't be doing my work. What?
So a tool without boundaries and just going on instincts, they will help everybody and then
not
they
do
will
their work.
Correct. They'll neglect their own work. And so they get into trouble. Right. And then it doesn't help the organization they're in.
Not productive lah.
Correct.
Okay.
But two who are in average and healthy space then have boundaries. They know they have to finish their work first and then they can go and help.
Right.
So the average space tools will actually do their own work, then feel the itch already, go and help somebody, then come back to their own work. In the healthy space, I would finish my work first and then I will go and help other people if I can. If. So here is the operative if word. If I can. Because not everybody is for me to help. Not everybody is needing my help at that point. So for a tool to even understand that is very difficult at the beginning of this journey. So work-wise, if they have boundaries, very productive.
So any advice for someone who knows that they are a tool, right, to deal with any of this? Any general advice for them?
If you ask a tool a question like that, it's too general. So if you want to ask them how they are, just ask them what is it that you can support them in. They rarely know what their needs are. Okay? One very good way is to appreciate them for who they are and not what they do for you.
Okay.
So again, 2, 3, 4s are
For
about
who
person,
they are lah.
for who they are.
Who they are.
So don't like the person because
Of the
action, but because of the person
itself.
Yes.
Okay.
And tools have to accept that people will like them for who they are and not what they do.
Okay.
So the work is on both ends, not just on one.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's for type 2.
Yeah.
Right, what's the next type?
3.
3. Okay, so
So-
we're going in that order.
Yeah, we go in that order, right?
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1.
1.
Okay.
So we go one round.
Okay.
Okay.
So 3s, the core motivation is the need to succeed and to be admired.
And to be admired. Okay.
Success is a very big thing for them. It's a goal that they have in their lives, which is not a bad thing. So I'm going to say this very clearly. In this world, we honor the 3s more because it's what the world wants. Success, admiration, recognition. It's not a bad thing. It's only bad if we do everything and take the shortcuts that shouldn't be taken in order for us to get there. So regardless of types, that's where we have to be very clear about, right? It's not just, threes are, I don't like it when people say threes are just very money-minded, very success-driven. I'm like, then what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Because we need people to push the world in that way.
We need the front-forward thinkers.
Actually, threes are more the resource people. They are very good at resource management. So one of the strengths of the three is they are very good at resource management. They are very good at forward moving the team. They move the team forward because they will go first.
Then they bring the team along with them.
They will pull the whole team along with them. They are very highly motivated because work energizes threes.
Oh, okay.
Only work, or are there like hobbies considered?
It depends, no? Because
It depends on the definition of success.
it also depends on whether or not the hobby has a goal. So goals in general actually energizes threes. So work, hobbies, even sometimes the self-help books that they go for, there is always a goal in mind. So one of the things that I think we learn from threes is you have to have a direction. You have to have a goal, right? So that's on the high end. On the lower end, when they are unhealthy, they overwork. Very prone to burnout. Because if work energizes me or goal setting
You just keep
energizes
working
me,
and working and working until they reach the goal. But
and then they will go on to the next one.
they
So they
take
don't
a break.
stop.
Oh,
So threes, when they go on holidays,
they're still working.
we always ask them, are you able to sit down and just relax? They say, yeah, I do. I will go to the beach. I will go and have a drink.
And
I
read my
will
email.
read my emails. I
Go to
will
the beach and read my email.
I will build a sandcastle. I will go and parasail.
But in the head, you're thinking about
with
future
things
So
stuff.
there's
tasks,
always things to do.
Things to do.
Yeah.
There's always things to do. Yeah. It's not just go down there, see
be
the
in the
scenery
moment.
and be in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So threes, they have to learn how to be in the moment. Actually, that's the most important thing for them.
So what's the corresponding strengths and weaknesses attached to a tree, a typical tree?
Highly motivated, they are very good at resource management.
Okay.
Right. They are very good at managing the team to move them forward. Strengths. Weaknesses then would be where they become very overworked. Very, very overworked. When they start taking corners. Start taking shortcuts. Because they want to get there fast. The manipulation for the three is because they can read the room, they can pretty much manipulate a sale if they want to. Or manipulate what they
Anything
want.
lah, as well as their results lah.
Because they are able to morph their energy into what the room needs them to be. So the image part, they're too image driven at that point in time, then they tend to lose themselves. So that's I think the one weakness that I think threes usually struggle with, because the image is something that helps them be in the world and be productive in the way that they instinctively want.
Okay.
But to grow out of that actually is to figure out where they are in terms of their feelings and how they feel about themselves.
So now we know the strength and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Then how do they perform in terms of finance then?
Oh, fine. They're very good at managing the finance. Because it's part of resource
Very
management.
good resource management,
Very
right?
good.
Oh.
They are able to come up with everything. They are able to see where the money should be going. They know where to allocate the best funds to each part of the organization.
Now, on that case, then what about relationship? Because after I hear that, they want to reach their goals and all, are they going to be like,
They should be very good at allocating time.
no, not stabbing people just to reach their goal?
It depends on what kind of relationship you're talking about. If you're talking about work relationships, they tend to be on the unhealthy side very competitive.
Okay.
So they have to look out for how they are competitive because they are on the lowest end. And this is something that we don't see in real life very often. On the lowest end, they tend to step over the next person to get to where they need to go.
lowest end lah. That's the
lowest end.
unrefined.
That's the
care,
most
they just want-
toxic end of the
Yeah.
Okay.
You just want to hit the goal lah.
correct.
Okay.
And all types have the toxic end.
Yes.
Right? The average space and the healthy space for the 3 is where it comes to relationships. In the average space, they tend to look at like sometimes personal relationships as a project,
Oh, wow.
where they want to change the other person, where it has to be the best that they want to be. But the intentions are good. The 3 want them to be the best that they can be. But they treat it as a project. So the emotional connection is not really there. It's all functional because I need you to get to a goal. In the healthy space, they can combine that function with connection.
Right.
I can sit down with you, be in the moment, ask you, okay, what is it that you want to do? I will give you the platform, but I'll leave it to you to go and figure it out.
So this question just pop out in my head, right? Will the extreme end, right, will do something like, oh, I get in the relationship with you just to show the world that I'm in a relationship, and then hence I build a family with you because to show the whole world that I build a family with you.
The toxic
The
side.
toxic
yes.
tree lah. The
Toxic
tree
trees usually have trophy wife, trophy life.
Oh,
You're not bad.
not bad.
Oh, next year I was like, watch it. Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, then what about work and career for them then?
I think we have to be very specific. What do you mean by
For type
work?
trees. Like for example, let's say how their career, how do you
I got an interesting question.
Yeah,
So what kind of career suits trees most?
Salespeople, people who have to deal with team communication, management. They're
Numbers,
very good
targets,
managers, very good managers.
Okay.
Not to say they cannot be leaders, but it's the management part that they are very good at.
Okay.
What else do they do?
How about like the tech world now? It's a big thing. Tech. Will they fit?
Well, they're usually the people who sets up the organization
Okay.
in order for the other people to do their job. So they will procure things for the organization. They will make sure that they get the best deal. They make sure that everybody's in place. They make sure that they will put the best person in each of the spaces that they have in that organization. So they are the best ones to do that. Not any of the other types. We don't have that. As a tool, that's not what I have. I had to learn that from the 3s.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs usually are 3s.
Usually are trees.
Usually are 3s.
Okay. Right.
But entrepreneurs are not made out of just trees, right?
Of
They
course.
are like
So
a
we will
range.
go through, right? Like any person, like I'm a 2, I can be an entrepreneur, right? And the only reason why it's not just 3s. 3s are instinctively suited for entrepreneurship.
Okay.
The rest of us have to get over ourselves and our own weaknesses and really learn how to deal with, like for me, if I don't learn how to deal with boundaries, I cannot be an entrepreneur. I don't know how to allocate resources, I cannot be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
All these things I had to learn from scratch. The 3s already have
Some basic instinct.
instinct, correct.
Okay.
I like the way you say that. It's a basic
So
instinct.
if let's say assuming that I'm a type 3, what advice will you give me, right, to do anything that we can do? If I'm a type 3.
Okay, so 3s don't really like this when I say this. 3s have to learn how to be in the moment.
Be in the mood.
Be in the moment. That means
Sit down and do absolutely nothing. Very difficult for a 3.
Well, some people find it very easy.
Yes, some people will find it very easy. I agree with you.
Not most people. But okay.
Not most people, but some.
Okay.
For 3s, that's the one thing, because if you are in the moment, you can then start to take time for yourself to reflect where you are, how you're feeling. Then you can build authenticity within yourself. Then you don't really need the external validation and recognition from other people. You can do that for yourself.
Right.
Being in the moment for a 3 also then gets them to slow down, and then when they can do that, they can become very detail-oriented. So I think that's the one thing they really will struggle with, but that will give them the most returns in terms of how they want to grow themselves.
got that. Okay, so that's the 3.
That's trees. That's
Yeah,
tree.
that's the 3. What's
We
the
can
what's
move
next?
on,
We're
right?
going to 4, right?
4.
Okay, so type 4s. 2s, I want to help you because I want you to see me as that person. 3s, I want to see you succeed because I also want to succeed, and I want you to see that I can do that for you as a person. 4s, I want you to see me as a person.
I'm digesting that. But yes, please
Yeah, so
elaborate.
4s,
Yeah.
the core motivation is the need to be unique in a world that tells them that they shouldn't be that way. Fours are very creative. Fours are very deep feeling people. Very empathetic, very good at looking at what the gaps in terms of what you are saying and what you're feeling. Very good at sensing what they need to ask in order for you to get your feelings out on the table. And they can hold that space. They are very good at going deep into the beauty of your pain and your suffering with you. So they can hold that space for you. Fours are very aesthetically driven, which means what they look at here is how can I make life beautiful? How can I even let you think about life, even though you're suffering right now, as beautiful?
Wow, that's very deep.
So usually when you look at the four, if you look at like architecture in the world, right? If we don't have fours in the world, then everything will look like a hospital room. Functional, all one cookie cutter way, right?
Square,
rectangle, whatever
space.
is the most symmetrical way of looking at it, right? Fours give that depth in terms of aesthetics, that beauty into how you see life, how you live life, how you can even build life.
Is it almost as similar as YOLO life? You only live once life kind of thing?
No. They don't really YOLO. You only live, they know that their life is theirs and that they are different.
Then they want to live to the fullest in that way.
Yeah. So because they know that they are unique and they bring that unique perspective, when they are in a relationship with somebody else, they want to make them feel special as well. They bring that perspective to them. So they are very good at coming out with surprises.
So their strengths are really like, very empathetic, really very creative in a sense.
Very good at listening for emotional cues. Yeah.
That is their strength.
That's their strength.
And the weaknesses?
Sounds like a good lover.
The weaknesses sounds...
very good.
Ah.
So one of the names that we have for the four, and most fours don't like that name, they are called the romantics.
Okay.
But in Singapore, we talk about them as the individualists because they really stand out. So the question that you ask here is, how are they
Weak, then
Weak-
what are the
yeah, what are the
weaknesses?
weaknesses?
Okay, the weaknesses here is they can get very depressive if they're not careful. Because they're so used to feeling the low points in their life, they sometimes slip in and out of depression and they have no idea that they slip in and out of depression. They can get very down in their feelings, and then sometimes when they speak to people, it becomes a little bit too heavy for people to deal with.
Are those like, they watch movie, they will cry like mad kind?
They are instinctually going to be the ones that would feel
The most.
in that movie. When they cry, it's not because of what is the action, it is the meaning behind the image that they're seeing. So when it comes to cinematography, they are actually the best people to actually feel what the director wants them to feel.
Okay.
Because they can feel it. One of the main weaknesses for the four here is they start comparing themselves to other people. Then it becomes a game of I am not good enough because most people in my age group is gonna be like this. I am not good enough because I am not doing what other people are doing. And then they get very lost in all that.
But that's a bit counterintuitive to their core motivation, right? Because the core motivation is to, I see here, be unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, then why compare?
Because their greatest strength, and this is the same for all type, is also their greatest weakness. They, in order for them to set themselves apart in the lower end,
They must check everybody else.
you realize that when they say, you are better than me, I'm the worst that is ever to walk on this earth, for example, they are already setting themselves apart.
Okay.
But less on the lower end.
Okay.
Right.
On the healthy end, they don't have to try so hard. They don't even try to set themselves apart. They just be who they are.
Okay.
Right. That in itself is already setting themselves apart already. So the main thing I think for fours when they start comparing is also because they want to play into the I'm not good enough card. And if they indulge in that a little bit too much, then they become very unproductive. They become very laid back. They become very reclusive. You can't get them at all. So in terms of work, the weakness for the 4, when they get into the I'm not good enough feeling of themselves, they tend to miss work for no productive reason.
Disappear lah.
Because they want to feel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how would that manifest in money behaviors?
Interestingly enough, for money behaviors, they will always spend on what makes them unique. So they will buy like a brooch, or they will buy like watches that nobody will have.
Nobody will have one, okay.
Right?
To differentiate lah.
To differentiate themselves.
Okay.
They will actually, in their hobbies, they will spend quite a bit. Like if they want to start learning a guitar, for example,
They will just go
out. Painting, they will go all out. So they will spend all that money to do it. Video editing, they will go all out. Anything that helps them to express themselves, that's where the money will go to. So if they're not careful, actually the money will run out before they actually get to the end of that passion that they have.
So on that note, what advice do you have for the type 4s then?
Know that they are good enough without even having to try.
Yeah. Okay. But generally, I forgot to ask this question. Generally, what sort of career are they more suitable for actually?
Counselors, therapists, creative work, even video editing.
Counselors.
Counselors.
I'm thinking if that's the case, then won't they be
Overly emotionally
So
attached?
that's where if they learn the structure and the discipline in order for them to not get sucked into that.
Okay. So for a low, unhealthy, that's terrible experience for them. But for healthy, for...
Not only for them, for the client as well.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Because it will show, right?
Correct. It will show.
But for healthy 4, it's good because they can regulate.
They can regulate, they can hold that space. They are very good at asking the questions that need you to move emotionally.
So technically, they are good salespeople also.
Yes.
Right?
In
Because
this
they
day
can
and age,
connect
when
best.
it's correct, when it's emotional selling,
Okay.
they are good at that if they can understand that they don't need everyone to agree with them.
Okay.
And they have to see the logic behind it. So 4s would feel they don't really have the thinking part. They only have half of that story. So in order for them to be good at anything, they need to have both the emotional side and the logical side. Yeah.
Okay.
Which leads us to 5.
5.
Correct. So 5s, logic centered type,
They're known as
they're known as the observer.
Okay.
The core motivation here is the need to know.
The need to know. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that everything you do, they must be in the know, or?
Okay, so there's a difference between I need to know versus I need to be in the know. I need to know means I want to know how everything works. I want to know how the system can be broken down and can be made into another system that is more efficient. I want to break it down in such a way where I can actually maximize that particular solution for X number of crisis situations. To be in the know means I want to participate in another person's life. 5s instinctually don't like to participate in other people's lives. They are very much comfortable being with themselves. So we had a person in one of our training sessions says, I've got no problem being with myself because I built my own world inside. I be with myself. I talk to myself. I'm very self-sufficient in that way. They don't need anybody else to participate in that. So
they don't need any like additional validation, nothing.
Like an amoeba.
So here it gets
this
is where it gets a bit interesting because we think that 5s don't need validation. Actually, everyone needs validation, right? So I've got 3 rules. One rule that I have is everybody wants to be seen, heard, and understood. So 5s also need that.
Right.
They just don't think it's important. It's not their priority, but they need it.
Okay.
Right? So with 5s, they actually are very stoic. You can't really see what's going on in their face. They're very good poker players, I always say. You can never see what is it that they're thinking? But
So top career choice for 5 is
Poker player.
mahjong player.
actually, I was telling somebody just now that most of the top comedians in the world are actually not any other Enneagram type by 5s. Because they're very technically driven. Telling a joke on stage and creating that set actually requires a lot of technical skill, and 5s are very good at that because they can break down everything, and then they just go out because they are very able to compartmentalize their feelings. They don't feel rejected when people give them feedback because it's all information to them. So the best comedians in the world are actually 5s. Except for
At least
one that I know of.
strong 5s lah. Strong 5 traits.
Very
lah.
strong
Fives.
5s.
Okay.
Yeah. So where...
And the
we-
strengths then would be, if they want to be, no means they must be more intellectual than others.
They don't need to want. They are more intellectually,
okay.
more agile than everybody else. 5s will actually... There's this hunger for research. There's this hunger for information. There's this hunger to know more. Where then they can use this information in crisis situations. So they're very calm in crisis. Because they can detach from the
feelings and
feelings
all.
and the
turmoil.
so everybody can be running around
feeling anxious
feeling
and
anxious
all.
and everything. So let me be clear. 5, 6, 7s, the main emotional challenge is anxiety.
Oh.
Right? They will feel anxious. They will never show it. So how I know when a 5 is actually anxious is when I look into their eyes. Then you can see the anxiousness. But because they already know the situation, they know what the factors are already, and they already have the plan already, right? They are the calmest person in the room because they know they can execute. Very good at execution, very good at solution-based organization positions.
Roles.
In the roles. Because they are very good at seeing the gaps as well in what the systems need at that point in time.
Now, in this case, what's the weaknesses for them then?
Very isolated. Very... How do I put this? They seem very emotionless, but they're not.
They just hide their emotion inside.
They don't really like to give praise because it is a very matter-of-fact thing for them. Like, we have 5s. I had a 5 lady who was going to get married to another Enneagram type, and she says, I don't see why I should tell him I love him.
Wow.
I'm going to get married already.
Wow. Okay.
Are you sure that's a 5 or this?
5.
Okay.
Because I asked her why, and she said, because
I don't.
he already knows. He already knows because I'm already here. So it's a very matter of fact. It's a very logical thing, right? And so that's where they know that it's not how I say things to you, it's what I do for you, how I am with you.
Right.
If I already let you into my world, and 5s are very private, so if they let you into their world already, they already made all the mental calculations that you're not going to wreak havoc in their lives. Because if you're a little bit too unpredictable, then that's where they get a bit iffy about that connection.
Right. But it sounds like very strong, how do I put it, workers when it comes to their career. Because I think they're very focused in a sense.
They are very good working alone. Very good at doing things on their own. And if you give a 5 something, I guarantee you'll get it at the time. That they tell you they will do it. So one things that I think we're talking about, if let's say you want to support a 5 at work, right? Please don't ask them after they have given you a deadline when they're going to give you the work. They don't like it. Because I already told you I will do it. If anything happens
I will inform
and
you.
I cannot do it, I'll inform you first. And they will usually inform you like 2-3 days before that. Because they already calculated how much time they need already. So really for 5s, it's when they say they will do it, I know they will do it. Yeah.
Okay.
How will that manifest in money matters?
5s are very logical in their spending. It is what they need, not really what they want, which sometimes doesn't help them.
Because what do you mean?
If they just buy what they need, then they don't really celebrate life.
Okay.
They don't really celebrate
Okay.
themselves. They don't really see why they should be spending on themselves because it's not logical at that point in time. And then, but everyone again wants to be seen, heard, and understood. If they don't do that for themselves, and if people try to do that for them, then it becomes a very difficult thing for them to accept because it's not done in their lives.
Right. So for type 5, what are the suitable careers mostly for them?
Analysts, they are very good in science, so scientists.
Oh. What's all the information and all?
Correct.
Ah.
Interestingly enough, insurance and real estate. The technical parts of it.
The planning, the details.
Yeah.
It comes with quite a bit.
Right. So, that question, any final advice for them? Any advice for them actually, for type 5s?
5s is not what you cannot do. Think about the information you can get when you say yes to the things that you want to do, and then it will become something that you can do. Because 5s, the cannot box very big. In order for us to get 5s to participate in the world, they need to see that there's an information that they can get. So I always tell 5s that the best way for you to get information is to participate in things that you've never participated in before, because it's a new thing.
Right.
Then you get more information, and that actually helps them to be a little bit more interested in finding out what's on the other end of that equation. Type 6, they are called the loyalists. The need for the type 6 is to be stable and to bring stability to the world.
And to bring stability.
So 6s are actually planners. Very good at planning, very good at contingency planning. But 6s out of the 3 logic-centered types, 5, 6, and 7s, right? They are the most anxious of the whole lot. But here's the interesting thing, they don't feel it.
But to the third person...
Or they feel it or they don't know it.
No, they don't feel it because it's so much part of their lives already at this point in time. It is a second nature to them.
Oh.
Like being anxious is part of...
Dealing with the anxiety that's inside of them gives them the strength of planning, contingencies, seeing gaps in processes, right? That's how they deal with the anxiety. So that's where the 6s are.
Interesting.
So those are the strengths, right?
Yeah.
Where they can see the gaps, they can fill the gap. Because they already plan for the contingencies and the plan itself already. They are able then to bring the team together as well. So that's one of the strengths as well for at least for a work-based setting, right? It's about being a team player. So they are called a loyalist because they don't jump around in terms of employment. Even in friendships, they don't jump around because it takes a lot of energy for them to actually
re-establish everything
again, and then the familiarity is already there. I don't want to keep on shifting.
So now I must ask. So if let's say the 6 happens to be in a wrong friendship or a lousy friendship,
right?
But because he's loyal, he'll just continue the downhill trend.
So this is where it gets a bit interesting, right? 6s will not start even getting that friendship into the next level. So 6s have levels. First level is I meet you, you meet me, we are acquaintance.
Okay.
Right? So if let's say at this time already, the person is already a bit wonky already, not very consistent, actions don't match the word, they may not even go up to the friend level.
Right.
So they cut off very quickly.
Right.
Cut off may not be the best word. They filter very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, but if let's say, for example, happens to the words fits the words, it clicks and all.
Okay.
But then after that, I'll just manipulate you to go and do a robbery and things like that. They will just follow, even though they know it's wrong.
They know. They will not do that because the action and words that they are looking for, the test here is they test you in years. They don't test you in months. Not even days.
Oh,
the trust is built over time.
I see.
So if let's say over time the consistency here is you never ask me to go and do something illegal, then along the way 2 years later you're asking me to do something illegal. The first question is they will ask what happened. So 6's strength is also in asking clarifying questions.
I see.
If you want to start a business, 6's are the best people to ask because they will give you the cold hard facts about, okay, Where is this going to go? What's the success rate? What's the failure rate? Tell me everything first before I can be comfortable with you doing this, because they want you to be successful in that. That's why they will ask you the questions that nobody else will ask.
Then what about their weaknesses then?
They become a little bit too paralyzed by the analysis. So they will plan, and they keep on planning and planning. They don't move.
They don't do the work.
They are doing the work. They
By
just
planning.
don't move as fast as they should.
Ah.
Because they are very paralyzed by just the planning, because the anxiety is driving that. They become too negative about where they are in their lives, where nothing ever is a good thing. Everything is going to be bad. They indulge in the worst case scenarios in their lives.
Right.
That's for the unhealthy end.
Very unhealthy end.
Okay.
Right? Then sixes also then at the very unhealthy end, because they try to regulate themselves and can't regulate themselves. They also become very blunt. They also become very disruptive sometimes in the workspace, because it's the anxiety that's talking. It's not them. Yeah.
And how about on the very good end?
Very good and very good planners. Very able to see the gaps in the processes. Very good in applying the information in such a way that will actually make the process a lot easier, a lot better.
Hence, for career-wise, they're very good. Entrepreneurs, they're very good. People who do
Sixes
planning.
normally don't go into entrepreneurship
Oh, really?
because
But good
there's a lot of
partners,
risk.
I can see.
They might not be able to undertake the
But
risk.
they might not be the primary driver, right?
If they are able to get over the fact that not all their worst case scenarios happen, and they can see both the good and the bad, that means they can see. I always say that sixes need to become pessimistic optimists.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because naturally, as a six, I'm naturally pessimistic. I need to see the optimistic side of it as well. So in order for me to become an entrepreneur, I need to also see the optimistic side, because as entrepreneurs, we also know that nothing will go the way that we want it to go, and then the six will have to figure out how to regulate themselves in that space. So if they are able to accept that everything has a risk, that not all their worst case scenarios are going to come up, then entrepreneurship is on the cards for them.
Right.
If they cannot, then they have to work up towards that. So it's not a firm no. There are certain skill sets they have to learn.
Okay.
But sixes usually are very good at urban planning, very good at managing teams in terms of processes. So where the 3 is very good at managing the team in terms of emotions and motivation, sixes then help the
Process part, the technical
process part
part in a
of
way lah.
the. Actually, not the technical part. There's the process part. Getting people together, getting people to move together.
Right.
Because the processes requires it. Then they can tell people, hey, actually, you need to do this first in order for that to happen. Right. Because there's a gap here already. So they're very good at closing out the gaps. Lawyers, they make very good lawyers.
Okay, lawyers.
Interesting.
How would that look like for money matters?
Sixes are very, very methodical when it comes to spending their money. So everything has
It sounds like they are very good
place.
savers.
Good budget.
They are.
Good budget
They are.
planning.
They will always save for a rainy day. They will always have contingencies.
Good clients for financial advisors then.
Okay, so for financial advisors to get into a sixes good books, right? I always encourage the clients because I coach financial advisors. They say, but sixes are very, very good clients. I say, yes, but if you're not consistent and your actions don't match what you are saying,
They rule you
smell
out
it.
already.
straight away they rule you out already. But once you get them in and they trust you, and sometimes the wooing stage is a bit
Longer. Okay.
Sometimes it's not once and done. It's like 6 months in, then you get them, right? Because they're testing the integrity, they're testing the consistency. But once you get them through that process and they come in already, right? They're locked in for life.
Right.
So that's the good part of them for insurance people, because then it's about the continuity, and they're very good referrals.
Referrals or
They give
referrers.
very good referrals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that they recommend people.
They recommend people
Okay.
And they're trustworthy to recommend.
because they trust me,
Yep.
yeah.
and people will trust because they trust them.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
They've done their homework lah, right? Yeah.
They've done the groundwork for you already. They already assessed the person for you already. So it's very easy for their friends to go, okay, if you can trust this person, I can trust this person as well.
Yeah, because of a high bar lah.
Yes, it's a very high bar.
Wow. So any advice for these sixers then?
I'm going to use one of the clients. When she was doing this with me, she says, I have learned that I can actually control the loudness of how anxious my voice is inside.
Oh.
So I think for sixers, it is to embrace the fact that life is uncertain, and yet their worst case scenarios rarely happen.
Oh, that's a very interesting thought. Okay.
So in order for you to control that loudness, dim it down and go into the fact that life is uncertain and your worst case scenario rarely happens. That's the best advice that I think sixers can get from anyone.
Right. Oh.
Actually, on the contrary, if you tell them that your worst case scenario always happens, then also good.
They will tell you, I know.
Always happens. Yeah.
Yeah, they tell you actually I've done already. I've done this.
Yeah.
Which scenario you want?
But the fact here is not out of
Because you cannot get more anxious than knowing that everything that you have planned for, which is bad, will always happen, ma?
Oh, but they can. They can. Because if you validate that's the case already, right?
They'll find a worse case.
They will find another level of worst case scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Especially if they trust you.
What a spiral.
Yeah, especially if they trust you.
Okay,
moving on. My favorite, the seven.
Your favorite.
Why is that your favorite?
Yeah, the sevens.
Your favorite.
My favorite.
Type 7s, they are called the enthusiasts. They have a zest for life. The core motivation here is very interesting. The core motivation is the need to avoid pain. So
What do
then
you mean by avoid pain?
Yeah, so what's painful for a 7, right?
Physical pain, emotional pain.
Oh no. Boredom. Routines. Things that doesn't excite them. So they can start a project, but they don't end the project because it's too boring for them in the middle already. Right? Because that's painful for them. So paying bills also very painful.
That's money management, paying bills, painful.
Planning.
Just routine, ma.
Yeah, planning very difficult for them because I always say that 7s at the lowest end they get very easily distracted. Cannot sit still. They can do something and then somebody can come in, right? And then suddenly everything just shifts to that side and then they forget about the work here. Yeah. So that's where 7s are. They have a zest for life. They bring joy to people because they are very positive people due to the fact that they want to avoid pain in their lives. So that's where the worldview comes from.
So that is a strength.
Bring joy to people.
Right. It's very positive.
Very
That's
positive.
a strength. But of course, the extreme end will be overly positive and don't care about things.
Very easily distracted, non-committal, always overpromise, underdeliver. When a unhealthy 7 tells me they can do it, I need details. Right? Because I don't know what you mean by you can do it. I need the plan. No, it's okay. It will all turn out well. No. I need a plan. Healthy 7s have plans. Healthy 7s have routines. Healthy 7s know that boredom is necessary and routines are necessary for them to grow. That's where the strength comes out, where they can actually start leading people and committing and fully realizing that goal first before they actually move on.
Right.
Because they are so fun to be around, they are very good at motivating and getting people in. And they will get the most unlikely people to work together. So actually in an office, if you have a 7 who's healthy, got boundaries, know the routines, they are very good at galvanizing people to a cause.
What's a telltale sign for a 7? The moment
Cannot
you
sit
see
still.
Cannot sit still.
So 7s usually get mistyped or misdiagnosed as ADHD.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're not. It's just that because sitting down is very boring for them, that's why they don't want to do it.
They must have something entertain to them.
Telltale sign, okay, the other one, if as adults, the telltale sign would be if I say something like, I'm feeling very sad, they go, hey, don't need to feel very sad. Life is very fun, right? We can do this. So they will reframe it very quickly. It's a very quick reframe.
Tell you sad already, you still tell me like very fun.
They tell you the positive side of the world.
Look up your idea.
Okay, so here is where it gets a bit interesting. So every type has thinking, feeling, and doing.
Yes.
3 centers of intelligence, correct? That's how we all are built as human beings. 7s and 2s only have 2 out of the 3.
Only have 2 out of the 3.
Only have 2 out of the 3.
So thinking, feeling, and doing.
Correct.
So they only feel?
And they do.
No. So 7s don't have the feeling part.
Oh, really?
They only do thing. Do thing.
Do and
Because
think.
feeling requires me to sit with the pain.
Oh, because you have the negative feelings and all.
Correct. For
right.
2s, the thinking part is gone.
The thinking part is gone. Okay.
Because they only feel.
We
They want
feel
to-
and do. So
feel
everything
and
is
do.
responding to the feeling that we have. But we actually need to sit down and think through why we're doing what we're doing.
Oh.
Yeah. So out of the Enneagram types, only these 2 types have only 2 out of the 3 centers that they use on a daily basis.
On a daily
That's
basis.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So on that note then, how are they like in terms of like, I don't know, career work? Because I think in relationship it's quite clear that there are fun people to work with, right?
Yep.
Sorry, there are fun people to be with.
With.
I don't even know whether there are fun people to work with. But they will do
Depends
project.
like, and every time it's also
halfway.
healthy ma.
Yeah.
So all the healthy range is good people to work with.
So
True.
you want
Yeah, right.
healthy or unhealthy?
Let's go both ways
Yeah,
then.
let's go both ways.
Unhealthy, you will never find them.
Oh.
They say they will do, they don't do. So it's very frustrating for a leader when they have an unhealthy 7, right? And all the things are piling up on their table and then they're just floating around and just
Not doing the work.
everything else but the work. Everything else but the work.
Okay.
Yeah. Healthy 7s, then, like I said, because they can galvanize they can bring everybody together and make sure that everybody have fun going towards a goal, right?
Rara people lah, the hype
Yeah.
lah, hype.
They,
feel like
they create
hype
that
leaders.
momentum because people are happy to do it.
7
Crowd-
feels like a
crowd
social
magnet.
butterfly. Feels like a, I don't know, some
Entertainment
host,
center.
entertainment center kind of thing.
Entertainment center.
Like an MC or something like that.
7s tend to be, yeah, I wouldn't call them entertainment centers, but they are more of the positivity injector. They inject positivity into
Yeah.
the.
Is that a negative 7?
Have.
Like a really
Heck
I
care
inject-
everything or
I
just
inject
play or
negativity in your life. No.
I reject negativity. I inject
Yeah.
negativity.
So I'm a hyper and I'm super negative.
Okay, so interesting that you asked that. Then let's talk about
Because when you
this.
say hyper, it's always positive.
Positive,
ma,
ma,
right?
yeah.
But is
Is
it
that
someone hyper but is
negative? Yeah.
depressive? one?
7s usually don't say they're negative, but their actions will actually show.
Oh.
Okay,
So
like
what
example.
they do is they numb themselves. They will go and drink. They will go and watch movies. They will go and Netflix until Kingdom can't do anything. 7s at the lowest end, when they are dealing with negativity and cannot get out of it, they tend to go into very addictive behavior.
Oh, okay.
That's where they get a bit it gets a bit dangerous.
Some of these activities are drinks,
drinks, alcohol,
Gambling.
gambling,
And you need to
gambling,
avoid lah.
smoking,
smoking.
right? Things that harm the body. And 7s, if one telltale sign, if they're too negative, is when they start to keep quiet. That's
the
when
battery run out already lah.
I get very worried.
Okay.
Because 7s, because of the way that they are, usually very bubbly, everything else, everybody thinks that they're okay. 7s are actually very prone to taking their own lives.
Oh, interesting.
Because they want to remove the pain immediately.
And don't want to inflict pain on other people.
Ah.
So that becomes, and because on the lowest end as well, one of the weaknesses is also they're very impulsive. The impulse control is no longer there. So that's where I get a bit worried. If they get very quiet, they start withdrawing, they are not their usual selves.
Yeah.
And those are
that's where it
title
gets a bit
signs.
worrying for people around them. So always check on the 7th. Like 3s also people don't go and ask. right? So always check on the strongest people are usually the one you need to go and check on sometimes because they also need help, right? So for sevens, when they get quiet, that's where you better ask yourself, what can I do to sit down with this person and make sure that you give them the time to talk.
And in terms of money, just now you mentioned that they really hate paying bills.
Yeah, so will miss bills.
Will miss bills.
And that's why they need to automate the process. Gyro, they have to pay through whatever routines that can automate it for them because they will always miss it. So when it comes to like even paying premium, sometimes when I get coaches or coaching clients who have sevens, right, I say you might want to put them on a gyro.
Yeah.
So that it's easier for them. They don't have to think about it as well because that's what they want.
Yep.
Get out the routine lah.
Very impulsive. So 6677, 88 Shopee sale usually is kryptonite for them.
But it is on cheap,
They-
right? They
yeah,
just buy.
the thing is cheap, but it all adds up. They don't see the adding up under the end of it. So that's where it gets a bit dangerous for them because they don't really keep track of where the finances are. So they need routines for that. Or they need to actually tell themselves, I can only take, for this 66 sale, right, I can only go like 3 items max. Yeah.
So for career, what's ideal for them?
Anything.
Anything, they can do anything.
So,
Anything but
sevens-
not admin.
Correct. You're right.
Yeah.
Admin instinctually a bit difficult for them. Things that require them to sit down. So actually, sevens, because they learn through experience, right? Anything that is experiential for them can move around, doesn't tie them to a table, doesn't tie them down to a routine. They are very good at that because the creativity that the seven has is the more I experience it, right, the faster my brain goes. And sevens are very, very fast thinkers.
Right.
Once they experience it, they kind of know where they need to go with that already. So for sevens, when it comes to work, for onboarding, I always encourage the employers to actually get them to go out with them and experience the work and not just tell them what the work is.
Okay. Experiential attachments.
Correct.
So that's the 7.
That's a seven.
Right. So now next, the 8s.
8s are called the challengers.
Challenges.
So 8s on the Enneagram are the most obvious when it comes to expressing their control and their anger.
Control and anger. What do we need?
Okay, so what I mean by that is the need for them is to control.
Okay. Also, that's the core motivation. Is wanting
the
to
common
control.
motivation is to have control,
Okay.
not wanting
To
control.
have control
To
over
have
what?
control.
Information, work.
Control you.
Everything in the environment, they want to be able to control themselves in the environment that they can control it, so that it's safe for them to be in that environment. Right? So 8, 9 ones are gut-centered types. Gut-centered types are always very focused on making the environment safe for them. So for 8s, the control part is not about controlling another person, even though it looks that way. It's about controlling the environment so that they don't get blindsided.
So they have their desired outcomes.
No, it's about don't get blindsided. If they say that they want their desired outcome, that's on the very end of the
Spectrum.
the unhealthy side, where they become so one of the main weaknesses, they become dictators.
Oh.
My way is my way, and my way is the only way. You follow, because that gives them safety. Don't have any other things that I need to think about, right? But on the higher end, one of the strengths is they are very empowering when they can empower themselves, and then they can feel safe in the environment, knowing that things can go well by letting people do what they need to do. So that's the two ends where you look at in terms of leadership. They are very natural leaders. Strengths. Right. Where it comes to speech, they are very direct. Because they don't think it's necessary for us to waste the time to actually go into a lot of explanation. Because they're very action-oriented as well. Yeah.
Wow. But this sounds very tough to work with.
You mentioned anger.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so anger in itself, in our world, anger has a very bad reputation. Anger in itself is actually neither good nor bad. anger can be productive. And I always say this during the trainings or even my coachings with aides, right? I always tell them that your anger needs to be productive to fight for the injustices of the world, because they want to fight for the injustice of the world, right? And it's unproductive if it hurts people and it isolates people and you don't get the support that you need to get to where you need to go. It stops the process. So I give you two very clear ones. Aides who are empowering are able to effect change. Aides who are dictators, they impede change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impact.
So they can impact, they can move,
Change.
Impede.
change. That means
This is a very healthy.
they can
That's the healthy one.
shift cultural perspectives because of the
the-
confidence that they bring to that, right? The injustice that they bring to it, the injustice they're fighting to get over. For example, like getting votes for African American people, you need the aides to actually move that. That's productive. Unproductive is if I isolate everybody else already, right? Then I start playing games with everybody else. Because I want to bully you. I want to make sure that you know that I'm in charge.
Show the authority.
Show the authority, but it is
But that's
not
very
helping
unhealthy
relationships,
lah.
basically.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Also, that covers the relationship part of it. For
How do they look like managing finance?
I don't think it's look at finances the way that we think.
Why do you say that? They don't have finance.
No, they do.
they will say,
It really
"Give me your money." No, I'm just kidding.
It's
How do
if
they
they go
spend?
if they have this others focus, that means if they want to help community, right, the finances will go to that. They will put the finances to fighting the injustices in the world. It's a very functional thing for them. Right. And so if I can get by, my environment is comfortable, I can use that. They don't really overspend. But I don't think they also keep track of their finances as we would like them to sometimes. So sometimes they do need to learn how to keep track of where they are and what they need to put in. And that's predominantly where they are, because it's also about giving them the control over what they can spend in order for them to do what they want to do. Yeah.
Wow. So after hearing all these things, right, the first character that came out to my head, right, was like, it feels like a Batman character. No, Batman, no, really
Batman.
don't really care about finances. But you want to impede change, no?
He doesn't care about
Batman
finance
as in
because he's rich.
BATMAN, no?
Yeah.
So Batman, I think more 4 than 8.
Oh, really?
Because why his family got killed.
Oh, that's true.
And then he's fighting for vengeance because of the family. It's don't really have that. Yeah. Aids don't really have that. It is what it is. So aids are actually very easy to be in a relationship with because they are very upfront about what they think. What
It's a
you
very
see,
clear
what you see
cut,
is what you get. There is no hidden agenda. If they get angry with you, right? So the anger here is to move the conversation forward. Once they get angry, they finish already, they're done. They don't hold grudges. Aids are actually, if you can get past the aggressive stance that they have, there's actually a softer side to them.
So on that note then, for AA, what's an ideal career for them?
Leaders, entrepreneurship, very clear. Leading organizations. Okay, so here it gets a bit interesting. SAF. They don't want to be in a leadership position, but because of the way that they are, people always give them a leadership position.
Okay.
Aids will tell me that they don't want to have that in their bag. If they can give somebody else the control, they will give somebody else the control, right? Because they want to be able to just do the things that they want to do. So that's why when the need for control is there already, right? It's a bit of you need to look at the layers, because it's not that they want to have the control. It's because other people are not having the control. Therefore, I need to have the control.
Okay.
They are very willing to give that up. Entrepreneurship, SAF, any justice work,
Bureaucratic
lawyers, judges.
Interesting.
They are very good at it.
Right. Wow.
Activists.
Activists.
Yeah.
It's quite rare to see that in Singapore, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find in Asia. So on that wraps up it. Then next we have the 9.
The 9s.
So 9s are very interesting. So 9s are called the peacemaker,
Okay.
right?
Feels like an extreme end from the 8s, but okay.
They are two direct opposites.
Ah,
They're two direct opposites. So 9s
Place
are the
beside each
peacemaker.
other.
The core motivation is to avoid conflict.
Wait.
their key
Their
motivation
key
is
is to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
And that's why we mentioned that type 7 was to avoid
Pain.
pain. What's the difference?
7s, the pain in their life that's why they need to go out and have fun, right? 9s is they're both internally conflicted and externally conflicted, and they're dealing with both ends at the same time. So they are very easygoing in that way because they want to avoid the pain. They want to avoid the conflict.
The conflict.
So they just don't want to go into disagreement and
conflict
things like
with
that.
other people lah.
Anybody,
Okay.
including themselves. Because at the end of the day, so very clear way to tell a 9 is when I ask them this one very clear question over and over again over time. And the answer is always the same. What do you want for lunch?
Anything? I knew it.
Anything. But they actually have a choice.
Oh, but they just don't want to.
Because they want to avoid the conflict of rocking the boat or making you unhappy, right? They
gave you the choice.
They give you the choice. But then if it accumulates, then they become very resentful at the end of it.
Right.
Because 8, 9 ones, the core emotion is anger. So 9s actually have that when they give their power to somebody else already because they want to avoid that conflict, it accumulates in their body. It becomes a very interesting exercise for them to actually get it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are healthy 9s? How do they look like?
Have boundaries, can say what they need to say even though they know that it will actually be a conflict that they will cause because they see conflicts as healthy. Very productive, very good at keeping morale and keeping a team together. So the glue that holds an organization together is actually the 9. Because they can see, okay, so 9s in terms of strengths, one of the main things that we tap into for 9s in organizations is their ability to see multiple perspectives. So there's a reason why on the Enneagram framework, they are at the top because they can see every other people's perspective.
Okay.
Except for theirs.
Except for theirs. But they always put themselves into other people's shoes, right? They want to avoid the conflict, so
Correct.
they always give in.
Yeah. So if a 9 can actually say what they need to say, that means they also include their own perspective in it. Then at the lower end, the unhealthy one, I don't say anything. I withdraw. Anything is usually the answer they give you, even though they have an opinion about it.
Try to disappear.
They not even try to disappear. You don't even know they're there sometimes.
They don't even know it. Sometimes.
Ouch! Wow, okay.
Because they are very good at just being there. Working in the background. And nobody knows. Right? But again, everybody wants to be seen, heard, and understood, right?
Yes.
They get mislooked or they get overlooked sometimes. Sorry, not mislooked. They get overlooked sometimes because they don't put themselves into the position where people can see them. And then it creates that very interesting resentment part that they have about not being looked at, but they didn't put themselves in that position.
Right.
So average space in terms of strengths, when it comes to 9s, they are able to actually see an opportunity when they are given by the organization to step into the limelight. Because they don't like the limelight. But if they can do that, they can actually start finding their voice. They can start fighting themselves. 9s usually are very calm. Usually, when they speak, it's with a lot of... There's a cushion. There's a warmth that comes with the way they speak. And because they can see other people's perspective, right, they are very good at mediation. But that has to be on the healthy side because if they
You must
cannot...
be good lah, right? Yeah, a good, powerful.
they are
healthy
good.
9.
They cannot, if they cannot deal with the fact that they will cause a conflict somewhere, they cannot be effective as mediators. So they have to be very comfortable with conflict.
That's the healthy.
That's the healthy nine,
side.
yeah. That's
The unhealthy nine they won't resolve anything.
They'll just escape.
They will just escape. They will let them go and choose, and then they will hope that it will resolve on its own. Yeah.
Right. Oh, they sound like very nice friends.
They are. And so that's why nines tend to get stepped on and taken advantage of.
Then in that case, in career, how's it like for them?
Again, counselors, they're very good at holding space with people. They're very good at mediation. Lawyers.
But it's hard for them to climb the career ladder, right? Isn't it? If let's say they don't get out of that spectrum.
That's where they borrow the traits from the 3. Because they are linked to the 3 in terms of a connecting line.
Right.
Where they see the 3's ability to be in the limelight and be comfortable, even though the 3 can be in doubt. It's not fake because the 3 knows exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
But when they get off already, you can see they start sweating. So when the 9 sees that and that they see that someone is taking a chance on themselves to say what they need to say and it actually impacts the world for good, that's where the 9 goes, okay, maybe I can do that as well. Then they will be ambitious. So 9s on the healthy end are very ambitious as well. And they are actually very good leaders because of their perspective taking, their ability to see where the
resolve
gaps
conflict.
are.
the gaps are, the
yeah.
conflict is, and they can resolve the conflict. Yeah.
And in terms of finance, how do they deal with money?
Depends on, okay, so if they're on an unhealthy end, they really don't care about their finances.
Don't care means
They don't keep
anyhow
track as
spend,
well.
Don't keep track.
Yeah. They don't keep track as well. Because it is what it is. I just spend because there's no routine.
Even if you got a debt, I also don't want to look at it. Don't want to solve it.
Avoid conflict.
Avoid conflict, yeah.
That one will be an internal conflict. Right.
Yeah.
So in that case, yes, if let's say the debt is down there already, right, they know they have to do something about it. They can't find the motivation to do something about it.
They just try to hide away lah.
Correct. And so what they do is then they start scrimping and saving over on this side. But then it doesn't
Helps.
Make a
it
difference.
doesn't help the situation for them. Yeah.
But it's for unhealthy night.
Yeah.
Very unhealthy nines. So healthy nines able to plan their finances, they are able to see where the finances should be going. They spend on themselves as well as on other people. Very good at managing their expectations versus other people's expectations about how they should be spending their money as well. They're very clear about where their boundaries are when it comes to their spending as well.
Now, and with that note, right, what sort of advice would you give for the type 9s?
Nines learn to embrace conflict because if you avoid it at the beginning, it becomes a bigger conflict at the end.
Yeah, snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah, snowball. Okay.
And we completed that. Oh no, we
No,
didn't.
haven't. We still got 1. Remember, he started with 2.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
we missed
still
that
got
out.
1.
Yeah.
So now we're back to the the last one.
Okay, so once they are called the reformer. I call them the reformer, right? Because once the core motivation is the need to improve the world.
The need to improve the world.
In what sense?
Okay, yeah.
So I always say that they're born with that blueprint as to how to actually make the next level happen because of increased efficiency, increased processes, increased ways to actually be better at what they do. Because they are always seeking improvement in life. They are always pushing for that. So ones have very high standards for themselves because they want to actually use those high standards to actually improve the processes and the lives around them. When we talk about people moving the world into one age to another age, for example, let's say we are going into the age of civilization, right? The ages of civilization is usually the one that does it, not anybody else. Because they can see the way forward. They can see how they can improve those things, like the inventiveness that you have, like the will, okay, I can see how this actually improves it, right? I can use it in other places. And so the ones actually do it, and then they will build checklists and processes around that in order for people to use it safely. And that's how civilization grows.
Right.
So ones are actually very misunderstood because people think that they are just being very picky about what needs to be done.
Yep.
But the pickiness is also because they want to be able to get the world to live to a better standard. Yeah.
I mean, I hear a lot of the want to get the world to live about a better standard. How does it look like in behavior, in the day to day?
So they will teach in the strengths. One of the strengths for one is they will teach you how to get better, or what in your processes need to get better. So they will sit down, be very patient. They will teach you.
It sounds like my mother, man.
So one of the main jobs that
They want to teach.
Yeah.
They teach because they have to, or they teach because they just want to impose.
They teach because they know that's the way forward.
Is
Not
that
because
is
they
it
have-
the way forward though?
For them to even open up the conversation, yes. The imposing part is on the lower end,
Okay.
right? So when you talk about like helicopter parents, those are very unhealthy ones.
Okay.
Or expressing the unhealthy traits of the
Of
one.
the one, okay.
They may not be one, right? And so where we are with that, right? At the lower end, one of the weaknesses for the one is they become very particular about how you do it. You
okay.
need to do it to that specific standard
Standards.
that is very high and it's very unattainable for even themselves.
Like my mother.
I'm not going to comment anything on that.
I don't know.
I'm not going to
You wanna
comment
go and,
anything on that. Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, they become very particular about how things should be done.
Okay.
Yeah. So once actually, in terms of profession, a lot of them are teachers.
Okay.
That's why the strength is there, right? Ones also are very good at creating SOPs that actually work for an organization.
Oh.
That's one of the strengths. Because they can see what the gaps are, they can see they have a checklist, right? And they are very methodical in the way that they carry out the checklist. They will not move until the checklist is done.
Okay.
Right? So I would rather have a one become a airplane pilot than any other type. Because they will check every single thing from tip to end. And nothing will get missed out.
Technically, we want ones in all our security checks.
Correct.
Right? Our technicians.
Compliance.
Yeah.
Correct. Usually compliance.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Because they're
very
meticulous lah.
very meticulous, very detail oriented in that way because that's how they maintain standards.
Okay. Auditors.
Yes,
Right.
auditors will be. So you are going into what they can do already.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah.
Then if it's on the unhealthy end, it will be cannot get past this checklist, not flexible.
Not flexible. Anything that you do is not enough.
Okay. Yeah,
Anything you do is wrong. Because it's not up to their standard.
Okay. Or at least their perceived standard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
According to their perceived standard.
Oh, but when it comes to relationship, isn't it hard that
Ones need to learn how to actually have fun first. So in relationships, they are very... There's this tension that they hold in their body. They always sit very upright. Most ones that I know, if they can learn how to relax, they can learn how to relax in a relationship as well. Then the small things don't matter to them. Because it's as long as the partner helps them or the boss helps them, they can see that as an act of giving.
like a support there lah?
Yeah. They need to relax to get to the healthier side. If they're unhealthy, nothing you do is going to be enough.
And then they're a chill pill.
Yeah. They need to be able to let go of their standards than the way that things should be done. So once the speech pattern is you should have done this, you could have done this better, you have to do this. It's very absolute language on the average to lower end. But ones who have then experienced that chill pill that you talk about, right, they're able to let go of that absolute language. They go into, maybe you would like to think about this. Maybe you could see where we need to go. So you still see that it's still a little bit absolute, but there's still space that they give you to go and think for yourself. Yeah.
Right.
So that's where the ones have to go lah.
And then it sounds like they're very excellent treasurer, you know.
So excellence is
treasurers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. excellence is part of their worldview.
So when it comes to finance, they'll be very, very strict.
Depending on what you mean by strict.
That means, okay, let's say $100, I'll set aside $2 for this, $10 for this.
Yes. So they are very routine based, right? So this is what it needs to go, and they know where everything needs to go. When it comes to finances, or even in the way they live their lives, ones are they have very high integrity. The morals are always there. You don't have to worry about their morals. So when it comes to finances, they're also very disciplined. Discipline will be the word that I use for them. They're very disciplined in the way they handle their finances. Everything has a place, everything has a function, everything is according to a checklist that they have.
Oh, they really sounds like a good auditor, accountant, and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are the advice you have for type 1s then?
I'm going to use Matthew's the way that he said just now. You have to know how to take a chill pill.
Yeah, take a chill pill.
Let go of the fact that everything has to be in order for you to have a life, and a life that you can enjoy.
Now we have completed all 9 types.
Yep.
Okay, let's revisit the question that we had at the beginning, right? The Asians one, right?
Yep.
So what type are the Asians one?
What type are you using? You had to guess.
I think got different cultures, right, of Asian.
Okay, let's talk about true.
Okay, right. So I mean, Chinese culture, I think it's
more towards the tree
lah.
Interesting that you say Chinese is more 3. Tradition is very big in Chinese culture. So more 1.
Oh.
Okay,
everything has its place. Everything should be going in one.
But it's a hierarchy.
It's a hierarchical thing as well.
Okay.
Chinese or Asian parents, especially when it comes to this part, tend to be a little bit more.
True.
If you got 99, you should be getting 100.
Yeah.
So that's very 1 trait. So not just based on culture, just based on where we are in the world already and the way that we are across cultures, we have that as a common experience, especially in Singapore.
Okay.
Because why is it that you cannot get 100? Why is it that other people can get?
Because it's no longer just the Chinese, it's every single race and everything
else.
It's
every
there.
single race already.
Yeah.
So I think it's more appropriate to look at Asians in terms of where they are in terms of the generations. Generations before the 1990s, not even the 1980s, 1990s. That means 1989 all the way until the 1960s. Very traditional. We were brought up to be seen, not heard, right? Very 1. We are brought up in a very tradition-based, hierarchical environment.
Okay.
Anyone beyond that 1990s already, because the parents have learned that maybe we should give a little bit more space. They can be more permissive. So a bit more 2, a bit more 9.
Okay.
The 4-ish is a bit difficult because I think as Asians, especially when it comes to gender, men, we are not supposed to be assessing our feelings. And this is not just an Asian thing, it's a global
thing.
issue. Where men are not supposed to learn how to deal with their feelings or show their feelings.
In the stereotypical
gender role.
Okay.
Right? And so in terms of Asian society, I think the government is going the way that it is right now in terms of mental health. That is an opening that we have to deal with the foreignness of our culture.
Okay.
That's a very good opportunity.
To bring out a unique trait of Singapore.
And COVID actually helped with that. Because everybody had to regulate themselves. We didn't have anybody else to help us with that. And so I think the foreignness that we have is the generation after like 2010, 2020.
Okay.
Those are the ones that would actually be a little bit more feeling, more empathetic, more able to hold space for people in terms of emotional conversations.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. So when I looked at all of this, right, I think most people will look at it as we must fall into one of the 9 types.
Correct.
And the probability is that we are 1 out of 9. So the population is split into 9 types, right?
Yeah, is it equal or yeah?
There's no equal distribution to this. So it gets a bit interesting. 2 philosophies have to come up here. One is you're born with one core motivation. That doesn't mean that you cannot grow into the traits of the other 8 types. Any type that you see or any person you see should have all 9 types in them. It's just how well they can actually switch between the 9 types.
So we all have 9 types in us.
We all have the 9 types. The traits of the... So we have the core instinct of 1. Our person is then comprised of that core instinct and the traits of the other 8 types that we learn through our experience, our culture, our upbringing, everything that we have gone through in our life. Right? But the way that we see the world, which is the core type, doesn't change. Okay? So the best way to look at this is if I look at you and I can tell you what type you are straight away, not very good news for you. Because you're displaying all the negative side, the unhealthy side of the type. Right?
Because usually the ones who are strong in mastery, right, will be fluid lah.
Correct.
According to...
Back to the question was who can become a leader, who can become an entrepreneur. Everybody can become a leader and an entrepreneur. It's just whether or not they are connected very strongly and they can actually anchor themselves into their core type, their core way of looking at the world, and bungee jump towards the other types for them to use the traits to function more efficiently in the world.
Okay.
So that is a lifelong journey. It's not a once-off. It's not you come for a course for 2-3 days, then after that, I know what to do already. It's a lifelong journey that you have to do. And that's why I really believe that any practitioner that come in, right, has to go for upgrading. Which is why I always pay my way to Dallas, because I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been learning from an Enneagram teacher in Dallas. Because I need to upgrade my
There's
information.
so much more perspective, right?
There is what we do in this particular hour that we're talking about is only scratching the very top surface that we have. There is so many things that we have to talk about and learn.
Yeah, like for example, like some wing types or something. That's why I remember as well.
No, we talk about stances as well. We talk about the way that we actually see how we interact with people, right? That's stances. We also talk about whether we are self-preservation, whether or not we are one-to-one, right? So all these things that we have to look at, we can only look at it if we are very familiar with who we are first.
So as a layman person, a normal person, right? 2 things. Number 1, how can Enneagram help me in my daily lives?
Okay.
Right? Second one is how do I know what type I am and then hence improve myself?
Okay, so to your first question, anyone who is ready to actually confront themselves and open to the fact that they don't know anything and everything at this point in time can benefit from this, right? They can help heal their childhood traumas. They can help get more perspective on where they need to go, because with the information they get from the Enneagram, they can go to a therapist and counselor to actually work on that, right? So I have to be very clear. We cannot use the Enneagram to actually do what therapists and counselors do, because that's very specific.
Yeah.
But growing into leadership, growing into better awareness, growing into being better regulated is all what the Enneagram is. Because Enneagram should be empowering. So if you go for a course and all you get is the bad stuff, you're not going the correct way already, because it should empower you and give you hope, and it shouldn't smack you down and make you go, this is not what I want to be, right? So that's the first part. Anyone who wants to learn this has to be very open about where it goes and not think that one type is lesser than the other type, because all types have their, like Matthew said, has their own strengths, weaknesses. We just need to know how to navigate our way out of the box. So the Enneagram gives you the box that you know you're in already. You have to be able to step out of that box, to learn how to connect to the other 8 types that are within you. Okay? How then do you find out your type? Either have a conversation with me or take a test. I have a test that they can do. I think you all can put it into the captions somewhere, right?
Yeah.
They can take the test first. It's 180 questions. It's a long test, but that's
How
why
long?
it's comprehensive. 180 questions.
180 takes about...
Okay, depending on the type. 378s will do it within 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Right?
Minimally lah then.
Minimally.
Okay.
459s take about an hour-ish.
Huh? But I thought
Because
you're
they have
supposed
to think through, ma.
I thought, but usually such tests is
Such tests,
usually
you just click and go,
must
is it?
just click through, right?
But if you go by instincts, right?
Okay.
Then 1, 2, 6s are right in the middle, like 40, 45 minutes, right? So you're already pointing out, if you want to take the test, right, you actually just have to go on instinct. Just click. There's no such thing as right and wrong. And because we grow up in Singapore and everything is right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
Singaporeans have a very difficult time with the test because they always think that it's the wrong answer. There's no such thing as a wrong answer.
Okay.
Just click.
I think we just showcase our traits on that comment itself.
Yeah. So they can take the test, then they can reach out to me, and then we can go through the test results. And then whatever steps they want to take after that, we can figure it out. Because I not only give training, right, in my company, in my Evolve, I also do mindset training, mindset coaching,
Okay.
using the Enneagram.
So that they can advance a lot more. And it's not just lower levels management, right?
Yeah.
It's also senior management, executive as well.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to step out even further out of their comfort zones, who want to find the next level of their best selves, because of the way that I am trained. I am not only trained in the Enneagram, I also trained in International Coaching Federation methodologies. So I use that to actually supplement the Enneagram coaching. So that's the main difference between me and other people. I can give you the questions, but you still need to be able to take the step.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is very
Unusual for most
Unusual for
people.
two
Yeah.
Usual for two.
Yeah.
As we draw close to the session that we have, is there anything that you want to speak about, want to share that we haven't discussed today yet?
I think one of the things that we have to be very clear about, like we were talking about the ones, right? Like we were talking about helicopter parents. Helicopter parents may not be ones. I think for Asians, let me be very clear about this. If you're looking at this and you say, oh, I'm definitely a one, ask yourself whether or not you were born with a critical voice.
Or will you grow up from it? Is it?
You won't grow out of it. The critical voice will always be there. Right? And this critical voice is from birth.
Wait, can you
There's this
explain
voice in
the
their head that
critical
tells them they're
voice?
not doing enough. There's this voice in their head that no matter how good they are doing, right, they tell them you should have done it another way. You have done, and they don't know where this voice came from. Ones are the only ones on the Enneagram that has this critical voice inbuilt into their system from birth.
The one that goes, if only, if I've known.
If only, and I know is actually more for.
Oh, more for. Right.
Because it's like the longing for something else, right? So ones have a critical voice where no matter what they do from a very young age, they hear this voice that they should be doing better. And they can grow up in the most permissive environment. Parents are lovely people. They don't place any pressure on them. But they have this internal voice that's telling them they're not doing
I should be
enough.
better, I should be better, I should be better.
So what's the difference, right? Then people say, I also hear that voice, right? Okay.
Should be worse.
Asians have what I call a criticizing voice. Those voices come from our parents or from people in our youth, the way that we grow up, right? The people that along the way that we have very strong emotional ties to because of a very negative experience or a very
So
positive.
one is self-indulge, right?
One
One
is
is you keep replaying it on yourself, right? Then the rest is an external factors giving you that pressure.
One is
Like you should have done it better, you should have done it better, right?
So one is self inbuilt. It's inbuilt into the system. Right. It comes from
within
inside.
themselves. Yeah.
The other one is given to me by somebody else.
Right.
So if let's say I say that I should be doing enough, I'm not doing enough, why am I so stupid to do this? I know it came from my father. Because that's what my father used to tell me when I was younger. Right? And so there's a very big difference. So it's very important for us to have that distinction because in Asia, right, a lot of people think they are one. They're not. We think we have more 9s and 6s actually in Asia. Depending on where you are in even Southeast Asia itself, right? Because the culture is like that. Yeah. So the one thing I think we need to understand here is you don't box yourself in. don't stereotype other people as well. Don't use this to go, oh, I heard this podcast, I know what type you are already, because all this fits you. May not be
Might
the
not
case.
be lah.
Because what I show you in terms of traits may not be what I am using in terms of motivation to decide what I want to do. It's the why that is very important. So I always tell people, dig deeper, get to know the person over time,
Understand
and
the
see
why.
over time and what the why is. So core motivation is very important. The last thing that I also have to get people to understand is please do not use this to excuse your bad behavior.
Okay.
Don't say, oh, because I'm this Enneagram type, therefore I've got free reign to do all these things because I'm this type. You all cannot tell me to change.
Yeah.
No. I think let's be very clear about this. Any personality tool needs to have some sort of humility inbuilt into the person who's receiving it. We need to know that we are not perfect. We need to know that this is going to help us get out of where we need to go and resolve certain pain points that we have in our life, and then it will give us new challenges for us to face ourselves again. Right. So that's why I say it's a lifelong journey, right? It's an ongoing process. So don't use this to judge people. Don't use this to even judge yourself, but don't use it to excuse your bad behavior.
Yeah.
Very important.
Thank you very much Randy, for that. Jarrod. I think we went through a whole lot of things. I think this whole few, 1 hour plus of recording, I think it gives us a whole new insights. But I think it also gives us a perspective that I think we shouldn't judge people that harshly. Yeah. Because we know the types. And I don't think it just works on just Enneagram, but anything in the world. Because that came from just racism to even now a normal, social test in a sense. Yeah, but I think that's good for us to know, and I think we should use that to carry on forward to our lives. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Jarrod.
You're very welcome.
Thank
you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you for listening. If you like what you have just heard, follow us for more content like this.